YouTube right now, when you're listening to it.
Yes.
Oh, this is nice, can you just take one, or is it just, there's some right there, yes, you meant. Funky, you want to read it? Is it better? Yeah. I'm not gonna say. She wants to sit, she wants to read the. She wants to. Those pumpkins, and you don't want to sit that, but those pumpkins. No disrespect. I do. Well, way off. Oh, no, I didn't do. Trust me. What, it took me a great deal. For your grandmother. Why are you laughing? There you go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. They're all affected, right? Different from it is. Oh, yeah.
Good evening, Chief.
Seriously. All right, how about so? We know also. Okay.
I have a question. I have some things that tell me the interesting. My mother passed away. On the 50th. She has a lot of things from your town. And I want to read it, including, I have. I don't need it. I don't want to throw it away. That's very, very sensitive.
I get it with you. I get it.
That's what I said. I didn't even realize she had that.
Who is in charge?
This is all stuff that she had. I'm her oldest, so me and my brother, we all went through stuff. This is some newer stuff, but still, I just don't want to throw it away. In case it was abuse. That's what's coming first. Condo stuff. I just wanted to make sure we're gonna be thrown out. Especially that. It's very historic.
I will, I'll pass this along to our historian.
I probably, you know, I don't also that. What is it?
Is it a historian?
That's fine. So do I have to stay? Is it good to go or I want to?
Thank you. Thank you. Come on.
Mom's doing good.
She talk about her paper. Somebody said she might be going to see you, but to see your apartments.
I don't know, she hasn't told me, it's gonna be a surprise for us.
Okay, I saw that. Well, for her. But when you talk to her, tell her I said hi. Okay, all right. Good to
Thank
see
you
you.
so much.
Yes,
So we're good to go then?
Your mom.
Are we good to go? I used to see. 1943, I did not want to throw it out away.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hi there.
So Christine, we're gonna try to get together tomorrow, but I'll get your next one.
Oh, yeah, no, she seems to be doing much better these days. You know, it was the last week, yeah, because she was sick and under the weather and that didn't.
Close up issues.
Yeah, for sure.
The guy's name was Evans.
Evans.
That ran that dog.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
He's the one who. He was a blast. I mean, he.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you for that. I told you, yes, you're 100% right.
It was your different name that I.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Evans.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we know.
Hi there. Lisa, I'm Frank. Oh, yes, we did.
So I just
some papers for you, you know, if you look at them now, or read them, but I should probably just take a couple minutes at some point to do.
Sure.
your manual.
So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So hopefully.
We'll see. I posted, buildings, they're looking into it, so hopefully they'll have some answers.
Shot him an email. I like it.
It's tomorrow, so probably the next week.
Madam Clerk.
4 years
Good
and I'm trying to
evening.
get this stuff now, so
Game.
doesn't have to be tomorrow, but.
Right, no, I understand, but I don't want, I don't want you to have to sit for two. Sure.
And I know that they said I just. So old and I'm hungry and.
It's all, I have a problem after another, yeah. Okay.
It's not a money.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Did you do?
Nope, we can look over that for sure.
Of course. Yeah, or we could do that one. Oh, yeah. That's who. Thank everybody. Thank you, appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you, thank you. Well, hello again. Oh, and hello again. Nice to see you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening.
Good evening.
Watch the wine. Yeah, I like that pie. Thank you. Thanks. Oh, thanks. I can't. Okay, thanks.
How are you?
How's it going?
Where's your pie? What is it? Yeah. Lucy got something.
Yes, I see that. Just in your find your stuff. Right? Don't have to use one. Oh, just make.
She's still here. EMS.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
It's long glasses.
Yes.
No, we don't. I hear you. How are you? How are you? Before we just. Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. It's on there.
Just wanted to touch base with you. You're good?
Hi, everybody.
Right, 5 to 7 minutes. If you need a hook, I can get a hook. We can do Night of the Apollo if they like.
We are not.
Poor girl.
We are not. No.
Hey,
on
you
this
were
one.
kind.
All right, well, I'm just gonna call you up after the play.
Okay.
All right, cool, that's it. All right,
Mhm.
see you on the flip.
You guys look good.
Yeah, and so do you, your hair looks awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Rocking it tonight. No spitballs. Yeah, just pulled that right out. That was nice. That's how it's gotta go, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, then that's what I'm talking about.
I
When
know.
yes, you can. Thank you very much.
I know, the one says, if you don't feel it, so like, I'm not.
Oh, yeah. We can do that. I can do that. I can ask the help with that.
What's the? What's the weather? Hold till 7:30. I remember when it was.
I'm gonna hold for 7:30. I'm gonna hold it till 7:30.
7:25.
Oh, is that what it, oh, oh, okay, then that's supposed to be like 10. Okay, Mr. Johnson's gonna be sad, but. Oh,
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be here until he then.
oh, yeah, we're gonna be done by then.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right,
that's what it is,
all right,
you know?
I feel bad.
I hear you.
Bad. I'm just
I
telling
don't.
you. I can see that, holy crap. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get things started here. I know it's 7:25 right now, which is when we're supposed to be having a public hearing, so we're gonna kick things off. If you all rise with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge my allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Please be seated. So this evening, we're going to do a few things here that are a little new and interesting. Also, I'm hoping that we're going to continue our trend and keep our meetings nice and brief. In honor of Black History Month, the town would actually like to acknowledge Black History Month by asking one of our renowned residents here, Shauna Best, who is a personal friend of mine, to come up and speak a little bit about Black History Month, if you would, please. Thank you very much. Al, would you be so kind as to turn the podium so that Shauna can? There you go. Let's hear it for the stagehands.
Good evening, everyone. This year marks something extraordinary. 100 years. 100 years since what we now know as Black History Month first began. It didn't start as a month, it started as a week. In 1926, a Harvard-trained historian named Carter G. Woodson, often called the father of Black history, launched what he called Negro History Week. He chose the second week of February on purpose. That week included the birthdays of Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass, two figures already honored in Black communities for their roles in ending slavery and fighting for freedom. Woodson's mission wasn't just about celebration, it was about correction. At the time, Black contributions were largely erased from textbooks, ignored in classrooms, and overlooked in public memory. Woodson believed that a people who do not know their history are vulnerable to believing they have none. He created a space for truth, for dignity, for pride, and that week grew. Schools began participating, communities organized programs, churches honored leaders. The movement expanded organically across the country. 50 years later, in '76, during the nation's bicentennial, President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month, encouraging Americans to seize the opportunity to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans. What began as Negro History Week evolved into Black History Month. And today it has evolved even further. It's not just about the past, it's about legacy, equity, truth-telling, cultural celebration. It's about acknowledging pain and also celebrating brilliance. The 100-year milestone reminds us that remembrance is responsibility. We are responsible for telling fuller stories. We are responsible for teaching the next generation truth, pride, resilience. We are responsible for continuing the work. Black History Month has evolved from a corrective measure to a national recognition, a global conversation about justice, identity, culture, and belonging. But its heart remains the same, to ensure that no child grows up believing that their story doesn't matter, to ensure that contributions are not erased, to ensure that dignity is non-negotiable. So today, as we reflect on 100 years of intentional remembrance, may we honor not only the heroes in our textbooks, but the unsung heroes in our home, the mothers, the fathers, the educators, the pastors, the organizers. History is not only what was, it is what we continue to build. Happy Black History Month, and may we continue writing history together.
Thank you very, very much for that. All right, we'll proceed then with the remainder part of the meeting. Right now, I'd like to open up the public hearing. So, Madam Clerk, if you could read us the notice.
Notice is hereby given that there has been introduced before the town board of the town of Walkville, New York, a local law entitled "A Local Law of the Town of Walkville Amending the Town's Procurement Policy." Please take further notice that a public hearing will be held at the town board of the town of Walkville on February 26, 2026 at 7:25 p.m. at Walkville Town Hall, 99 Tower Drive, Building A, to consider the adoption of the aforesaid introductory local law. Any resident of the town of Walkville is entitled to be heard upon said introductory local law at such public hearing. Copies of the proposed local law are available for review online at thetownofwalkville.com, and hard copies are available for review at Walkville Town Hall, 99 Tower Drive, Building A. The town of Walkville make every effort to ensure the hearing is accessible to persons with disabilities. Anyone requiring special assistance and/or reasonable accommodation should contact the town clerk. By order of the town board of the town of Walkville, Louise Andresi, town clerk.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Would the attorney be so kind as to read the local law for the audience?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Local law, what's the sequence for this local law? It's not on my copy. Has it been established yet?
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
We're suggesting an amendment to the current procurement policy.
Understood. Amending section 43-1.1.1A of the Town of Walkville Town Code, establishing the town procurement policy. Section 1, short title, this local law shall be cited as local law to be determined of the town of Walkville, and is entitled Local Law Amending Town Procurement Policy. Section 2, legislative finding. Whereas it has come to the attention of the town board, the fact that the present procurement policy is a requirement that expenses up to $1,200 could be made at the discretion of the department head, and expenditures in the amount of $1,201 up to $19,900 requires written quotes, creates an inefficiency in the operation of its government departments, which results in unnecessary delays under circumstances which are contrary, to the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the town. And whereas, upon due consideration, the town board finds that modifying the procurement policy to allow for more expedited purchasing power will address the inefficiency while continuing to adequately protect the integrity of public expenditures. It is therefore found by Town of Walkville Town Board. I apologize, excuse me, a little bit of indigestion. That the Town of Walkville shall amend said procurement policy to raise the threshold for requiring written bids. Section 3, authority. The local law is enacted by the town board of the town of Walkville pursuant to its authority to adopt local laws under Article 4 of the New York State Constitution, the Municipal Home Rule Law, Section 10, Section 4, prohibition. Existing Section 43-1.1.1A shall be deleted and replaced with the following language. Section 43-1.1-A, purchases. Amount of purchase and guidelines. Up to $5,000 at the discretion of the department. $5,001 to $19,999, 3 written quotes. $20,000 and over by formal bid.
Thank you very much for that. At this time, we're opening up the public hearing. If you're new to this process, this is your opportunity to speak to the board and speak to the public about your thoughts on the recommendation to the board that we amend the current procurement policy to what was just proposed. So I'd like to open up to the floor. Anyone online? Back to the floor. All right, very good. Turning it over to the dais, I'm going to go to Councilman for Ward 1 for comments.
Yeah, so I agree with the getting allowing up to $5,000 at the discretion of the department head. Costs have gone up. It doesn't make any sense not to. The one question I have, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, pro formal bids were at 10,000. So are we changing that?
The general municipal law requires a formal bidding procedure at $20,000 and above. Below that, the town can establish a procurement policy.
So all right, I'm incorrect on, I thought that the law was 10,
No,
but no, it's 20. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
that's
cool.
bid section 103 of the general municipal.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm good. Otherwise, it's fine.
All right, well, thank you very much. Mr. Saleo?
Thanks very much, Mr. Supervisor. Yes, in an effort to streamline and decentralize decision-making, we have department heads whom we trust, and this is something that makes sense.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Mr. Vanilla.
Thank you, Supervisor. This is something that we noticed as of the beginning of the year, that department heads were unable to purchase certain equipment and parts for vehicles because they didn't have the authority. So this is, in my opinion, extremely important to get done so we can have work done on our cars, trucks, piping, anything you can imagine up to that limit. So yeah, I'm all for this.
Thank you very much. I'm going to parrot my councilmen here and say that since coming onto the town, it has been very clear to me that among many things that need addressing, certainly the streamlining of how the town does business from its department heads down, it's been convoluted and complicated and made more difficult by the process of being stymied on amounts that at this point in the world of commerce are really substandard. So I think that this is a good move. The department heads are empowered to manage their money in an appropriate way as dictated by the budget. So they should have the abilities to go ahead and do those things. And certainly in an emergency situation where they have the bandwidth to do that, they should be able to do that. So I think that this is actually an appropriate move, both in terms of accountability, and accountability to the budget, but also in terms of being able to function the town in a more efficient manner. So that's what I think on that. I'll call out to the audience one more time to see if anybody wants to speak. All right, at this time, I'd like to move to leave the public hearing open for the appropriate amount of time deemed by local law, which I think is 7 to 10 days or 14 days or something like that. 10 days, very good. Thank you, Mr. Coyne. To leave
Is
it
that for
for
written comment?
written comment, yes.
You also have the option to close the public hearing and leave it open for a 10-day written comment. It's board's discretion.
No, I think we can close the public hearing and leave it open for written comment at this point for 10 days. And that was a motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Thank you very much. That takes us out of the public hearing portion of this meeting and into the public participation part of this meeting. Hopefully there'll be more public participation. So that right now is open to the floor for anyone who would like to speak to the board on any item on the agenda. Don't all rush your breath at once. Guys, I'm on a roll. This is gonna be one of the fastest meetings ever. All right, let's move on then from the public participation section into correspondence, Madam Clerk.
I do not know.
Wow, okay. Then let's go to resolutions, shall we?
And I have one.
All right, let's do that.
Resolution of Town Board of the Town of Walkville designating the dog park at Circleville Park as the Marlene Freehill Dog Park. Whereas the Town of Walkville created a dog park at our Circleville Park utilizing grant funds. And whereas the Town of Walkville Town Board wishes to honor a member of our community who has been a driving force in the care and treatment of animals. And whereas the Town Board recognizes that Marlene Freehill and her work with the Middletown Humane Society has been instrumental in saving the lives of countless animals. And now therefore be it resolved that Town Board of Town of Walkville does hereby designate the dog park at Circleville Park, the Marlene Freehill Park. And it's further resolved that the appropriate signage be installed to officially commemorate this designation. There a motion?
So moved.
Second.
For those of you who don't know Marlene or her work, this was brought to my attention that the dog park over at Circleville Park does not have a name. And I will tell you, I don't know Marlene personally. I know that the clerk does. Perhaps the clerk would like to speak a little bit on her behalf, but before so, I just want to put out there that my interactions with Marlene at the Humane Society have been phenomenal. I am a longtime pet owner, predominantly dogs, but we have both dogs and cats. And my experiences with her and her dedication to the health and welfare of our pets is second to none, really. And I remember what the Humane Society was prior to her involvement many years ago. And I will tell you that it's gone leaps and bounds in an appropriate direction to uplift our furry family members. So I'm going to turn it over to you,
I
Madam
was going
Clerk.
to do that in my comments.
Oh, okay. No, absolutely. That's fine. All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Mr. Point?
Yes.
Mr. Soleo?
Yes.
Mr. Vanilla?
Yes, ma'am.
Supervisor DeNoso?
Absolutely.
That's all I have. So.
All right. Thank you very much for that. That now takes us to Councilman's comments and committee reports. What I'd like to do at this point is change things up just a little bit. We're going to go to committee reports first. What I would like to do is invite our building commissioner, our building inspector to come and give the buildings report first.
Okay. Does this work?
Yeah.
You turned there.
Yes. All right. Thank you. I'm Al Lance, I'm the building inspector for Town of Walkville. Normally the DPW commissioner, she's on vacation.
She is on vacation. It's okay. We got her covered. So
last month I was not able to provide the yearly report from the building department. The clerical staff received 1,256 permit applications, which included fees collected of $1,041,655,000. They issued 1,883 permits, certificates of completion, COs, certificates of occupancies, 1,186. They also completed 310 FOIL requests, 460 municipal searches, and the staff is awesome when it comes to the public relations. Anybody's welcome there. They'll help you out. I just want to put it out to the public. I have staff of dedicated inspectors. They completed fire life safety issues or inspections on 11 existing hotels, 225 buildings at 53 different locations of apartment complexes, which encompasses 3,747 apartments. They also completed 88 fire safety inspections on businesses, which is important for the public and for the owners of the occupancies. We also completed 11 fuel dispensing facilities. These are all required underneath the New York State Fire Code. For the month of January of this year, we issued 130 permits, 85 certificates, collected $59,127 in fees, completed 62 complaints, and completed 775 inspections. Going back to last year, the inspectors that we have, it's amazing that how many dedicated people we have. It's more for fire-based safety issues that we have. That's our main goal when we do our inspections of all these departments and businesses. So I got a great staff and I'm proud of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Al. All right, from there, let's go to the assessor's office next, I think.
I have that, Supervisor. This is from the assessor, Lisa Lasparana. As for this February, important notes regarding property tax exemption forms. All exemption applications must be returned by March 1st of 2026 in the town assessor's office. There's a drop box outside the building for convenience. If supporting documentation is not ready, you must still submit your application by the deadline. Exemption applications received after March 1st, 2026 will be considered late. Legislative update, the RPTL 458-A subsection 11, veterans with 100% service-connected disability. On February 13th of 2026, the governor signed Chapter 77 of the laws of 2026, amending the RPTL 458-A subsection 11, which has been enacted by Chapter 672 of the laws of 2025. This amendment makes two significant changes. First, the exemption is no longer a local option and is now mandatory for all municipalities. Secondly, the implementation is delayed. The exemption will be first applied to the assessment rules based on taxable status dates occurring on or after October 1st of 2026. Updates are currently in progress. For additional information, please visit the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance website or contact the Town of Wallkill Assessor's Office. As for the STAR program income verification notice, the RP 5300, the New York State Department of Taxation and Finance is mailing the form RP 5300 to certain property owners requesting income verification within 45 days of receipt of the letter. If you have misplaced the form from New York State, you can contact them at 517-457-2036. Again, that number is 517-457-2036. This notice relates to the basic and enhanced STAR eligibility. Please note, this is separate from the low-income senior exemption, the RP 467 application mailed by the assessor's office, which must be completed and returned to the assessor's office by March 1st of this year, 2026 is the deadline. If you have any questions regarding this, please contact the assessor, Lisa Lasparano, or the staff for assistance during office hours, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or you can email the assessor at townofwallkill.com or call 845-692-7810. Again, that number is 845-692-7810. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vanilla. All right, let's go to DPW now.
Thanks very much. On behalf of Michelle Baker and John Doley. For parks, equipment maintenance, both park utility trailers have been maintained, scraped, rust removed, and repainted. Skag turf, tiger mowers, and windstorm preventative maintenance and service performed. Golf course clubhouse major leak on February 1st due to a burst pipe fitting was reported. Parks building mechanics dried the area, moved materials, replaced damaged sheetrock, affected plumbing components. Plumbing was upgraded and rerouted to eliminate the issue in the future. Pipe insulation, copper press fittings were installed, along with wall insulation added to protect from freezing. and all work performed in-house. Grease trap, sewer lines exiting the clubhouse all jetted and pumped. For building upgrades, all carpets in building A and B were shampooed by the park custodial crew. The community center, all wallpaper removed, the main event room painted in gray, lower wainscoting panels were painted in ultra bright white paint, all work performed by park staff. Office building A was renovated to welcome Natasha to our DPW team. All walls were cleaned, damaged, repaired, and fully repainted. Thank you to Jen from Dial-A-Bus for donating desks. In addition, we dealt with several ice damming issues on a few of the town buildings, which required labor to drag, shovel off the roof, along with creative solutions to aid in melting the ice dams. For water and sewer, the water meter project is in full swing. Residents are asked to make the appointment with the national meter to get their meter changed out. This project is slow, but going steadily. All meters need to be changed. There was a water main break on Shutt Road on January 29th. There was an old valve that the bolts rotted off and broke. This affected about 10 houses on Shutt Road and Avenue E. Valve was repaired and the water was turned back on by approximately 1 p.m. Staff fixed several leaks on service calls. These leaks were causing damage to the roadways on Sheffield Drive and Amy Lane. Over the past weeks, the water and sewer has been called upon to several vacant properties, as well as calls from occupied properties for frozen or broken water lines. At the wastewater processing location, there was an issue with polymer pump for belt press. The manufacturer came out and repaired the pump at Rykowski, closely monitoring levels of groundwater, hoping the low level is due to extreme temperatures and no runoff. Lastly, sending 3 employees to grade D water school in April to get their distribution licenses, adding to the list of educated completions for the department. For highway, removing snow, of course, from the bridges, firstly, intersections as necessary and availability of loaders, opening up catch basins as the weather warms so water runoff can get off the road so it does not refreeze at night, snow blowing curbs in northern woods throughout the Winding Brook area, cul-de-sacs in the Scotchtown area, and repairing signs as needed. An important general reminder, please stay clear of highway trucks. When they are removing snow from the roadways, it is often difficult for the driver to see you if you are directly behind them. Even if they are utilizing backup cameras, very often backup camera is dirty from the road conditions and the nature of plowing snow. They will not see your vehicle behind them unless you are 500 feet back. Please wait for them to clear the intersections they are working on. DPW worked with town attorney to implement revisions to the wintertime snowstorm street parking law and the town's procurement policy to improve the efficiency of purchasing for all departments. Mold remediation project at 74 Van Burenville Road was put out to bid. No bids were received. Now working with the original contractor who developed the first construction estimate, hoping to begin work in April. Thank you very much on behalf of DPW.
All right, thank you very much. Very comprehensive. With that, let's go to the police department. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. In the interest of continuing the meeting moving quickly, I'll avoid or delete some of the comments I had on my notes as I was doing.
Oh, you don't have to. We're doing good.
I do have one comment about Councilman Soleil's reference to further snowstorms. Let's hope there are no further snowstorms because I don't worry about staying behind the truck for the next winter. So, just some arrest data, I'll update. Coincidentally, when I look back at the data, an ironic issue I discovered. It seems every year for at least the past 7 years, our arrest data flips. So for example, this year it's down. Last year was down overall, but this year it's trending upwards. The year before it was up, the year before it was down. So going back the past 7 years, there seems to be a consistent pattern here. I don't know if they're criminals or figured out something.
That's curious.
More stringently enforced.
Statistics and numbers, they can tell you everything and nothing all at the same time.
Absolutely, but with that being said, 1,135 arrests in 2025, which is a 10% decrease from 2024, when we had 1,265 arrests. As I mentioned, that 7-year pattern seems to be repeating itself. Ironically enough, we see the same thing with moving summonses, but the pattern is reversed. So the year that arrests are down, moving summons will be up, and vice versa. I'm not sure if there's any correlation or what's just happened since. There's a pattern we just recently discovered. So for 2025, there was 6,674 moving summonses issued, in contrast to 2024, when it was 4,420 summonses issued, a 50% increase. Parking summonses, no pattern. Parking summonses were down last year significantly, unfortunately, because one of our main parking enforcement agents was out due to injury. He's in recovery, he's back on duty, and we look forward to seeing an increase this year. Our police community council is doing a great job. We have our president, Brian Davis, and Jeannie Crawford here. In last month's meeting, we welcome 3 of the councilmen who attended. Thank you for being there. We appreciate your support. The next meeting will be held at 7 p.m. on Thursday, March 5th at the community center on West Warren Drive. Good job to park and getting the community center done. I've heard nothing but good things about the work they did there. During the upcoming community council meeting, the council will be recognizing one of our police officers, Officer Recorder Award. And while there's no guest speaker for the March 5th meeting, but Brian and Gina, I'm not sure if you came in when Shona Best was doing a presentation on Black History Month. You want to get her on the agenda for next year at least. Shona, when you do a good job, you get rewarded for your.
So you can speak to me, I'll take care of that, all the arrangements and whatever, I got you, don't worry.
Great.
By the way, that's 3%.
Great presentation. Get her at 3%. Good deal. Well, there's no guest speaker, maybe, but March 5th. But I'm pleased to announce that on April 2nd, our supervisor, Franklin Danville, will be the guest speaker. Our Police Youth Coalition, represented by Rosie Otero Walsh, was here this evening. On their next meeting on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. It's gonna be a green themed meeting with them at the community center. During our February Police Community Council meeting, we received an update from Hernán Bursch, our Police Youth Coalition leader, who shared the details of their February 3rd trip to Albany, where they met with legislators from the state. It was a great trip. We saw great social media response on. Great job, and congratulations to our youth, and thank the elected officials, obviously, for participating in that. I think Councilman Point joined the group up there as a moderator. We're wonderful. Thank you. Other updates. So on February 3rd, there was a social media post that was quickly removed, thankfully. But it claimed that ICE agents removed 2 children from the William Carter Elementary School. You know, these are children of a very tender age. We have full-time school resource officers in all of our schools. When this post was put out, generally, we're not very quick to respond to something unless it's an emergency, but we sense that there's such a sense of urgency in a case like this to put out from a reliable source. Our full-time school resource officer who's in the school, who interacts with the staff and the students on a regular basis, who has credibility in the community to put out on social media. This was not in fact the case, that there was no taking of children from the school by anybody, and it was able to, I believe, successfully prevent that from continuing to foster bad feelings about these types of incidents that have not been occurring here. So with that being said, it's troubling that we're probably an adult that put this out. We should be setting examples for our children, not trying to force their fear in other communities, but enough said on that. On February 19th, Lieutenant Ward and I met with the Homeowners Association in Meadows. It was a great meeting. There was a couple of issues that came up. I shared those with the supervisor, and we're working with our department heads to address some of these issues going forward. A mobile response team is a unit we've had in our department. It was enacted in 2023. This was all through a grant where mental health practitioners are assigned to our department on a full-time basis, and they respond to cases where someone's in a state of crisis. As police officers, we have significant training in many areas. We lack sufficient expertise to deal with somebody in a mental health crisis. And in many cases, we're clearly not the expert or the best person to deal with this, but there are experts, and we have those people working for us on a full-time basis. And when we enacted this program, we were the first in the county to have it, actually the first in the mid-state region. I believe the closer one was White Plains in New York City, and the other one was Albany. But since its implementation, it's been a tremendous success. Last year, 221 incidents were handled by the mobile response team. These are cases where, in many of them, they went instead of us. So we have some people in our community who need ongoing services, and the police lack the expertise to deal with these issues, whereas the MRT doesn't. They do have the expertise, and it's been a great success, this program. We're looking forward to it continuing to grow every year and setting the model for our region. On January 16th, a jury trial convicted Gianni Sellers in the murder of connection June 22nd, for murder, excuse me, in connection with the June 22nd, 2022 death of 3-year-old Xavier Johnson. This was an incident that obviously occurred here in the town. You know, our belief and the belief of the medical examiner was this is one of the most brutal cases of child abuse we've ever seen. And we were so happy with the, results of a months-long investigation and a years-long prosecution of this case. Enough said. The team did a great job in this case with our partners, state, local, and federal level. Also, emergency management. On Monday, we hosted a Battalion 1 meeting, which was our regular monthly OEM meeting, but a quarterly OEM meeting. But we hosted Battalion 1, which is a regular fire department meeting. They have the supervisor and several councilmen were in attendance. It's been an active year for OEM so far. In January, we had a couple of fires, one at Senior Horizons, one at the Galleria. The Verizon cell phone failure, 2 snowstorms. One was a little big. The first one was much bigger than the second one. But I cannot think of a better time to welcome back my co-director, Lou Gracia. Lou was missed and plays back. Looking forward to our continued great working relationship with our coordinator, Joe Andre. Coincidentally, Lou's going to be the guest speaker at a March 3rd Region 5 meeting hosted by the Rotary at the golf course. I'll be in attendance. He's going to speak about the great work he does with Honor Flight. Tremendous program. Lou does a great job. I promise I'd be quick. Last thing is goals. So as an accredited agency, we share our goals every year with the community. Excuse me, actually to our community council, we partner with community, we obviously partner with our elected officials in determining those goals and updating the public. So here's my update for 2025 on our goals and what we're going to do in 2026. The first one was an amendment of the reorganization chart. I'm not going to bore you with that. It's a structural issue. It helps the flow of information upward and down in our department. It's a more organized structure. Thanks to the town board for supporting that. That goal has been completed by 2025. The next one is not so easy. It's the acquisition of a new records management system. It's not just us, it's a county-based program. There's hiccups. It's a county-wide system. As these systems are developed and evolve in customization for each agency, they take time. That's been a carryover since the year before. It's going to carry over into this year because it's not ready yet. It will be. The training's been completed. It's going forward. It'll be up and running this year. I promise, from my perspective. We did acquire, and this is my third goal, our third goal for last year, acquire new software and technology to help us with crime scene investigation. I'm not going to bore you with Precision Solutions Total Station program. Basically, if you look at movies, you'd see the officers sketching out crime scene, the stick figures and the room and the measurements and the gun here and the stick figure there. It's not like that now. There's technology. We bring a device into a room and it does everything using artificial intelligence and GPS. And it maps out everything, so there's no question as to 5 feet from the door, 10 feet from the door, whatever such it is. That was acquired through grant and no cost to us last year and it's been implemented. We also have adopted this fourth goal for last year, adopted virtual reality classes. So in the past, officers would go through virtual reality training, watching a TV screen, which Steve can attest to. It was very not so sophisticated. It was a big screen TV, and it really wasn't that realistic. Now we have 3D goggles. When you're wearing these things, I've seen a number of officers actually reach for something as if it's actually there, or take cover behind something and lean against the wall, which wasn't there. It's a great system. We have members of our public attend, and we're going to open that up again this year for people to attend. It's a great training system. It's geared towards de-escalation. That's what it's about. We're trying to have officers ensure they're able to de-escalate situations, causing minimal harm to anybody. And lastly, and probably biggest, is I promise I'll be quick. A design a pilot project that's going to allow our school resource officers to help you deal with the issues they're facing. If we call it the Reimagine School Resource Officer Program, it's geared towards teaching students about emotional intelligence, nonviolent conflict resolution, and threats from social media. This is something, once again, Steve, I'm jumping on your experience in this area. We see so much of this with our youth. For those of you who are aware also, we see so much of with our youth. In one school 2 years ago, we saw a 1,000% increase in threats of active shooters in the school by a student. They were sending out threats to scare their confidence right in the school. With the help of Senator Scopus, we received a significant grant for hiring the best consultants we are, and the best consultants tell me the same thing every time we speak. No one's ever done this before. We have a really innovative project here. It's gonna be in place this year. It's one of the goals carried over from last year. Something like this takes 2 years to implement, and it will be implemented this year. So it's 2025, we're on 2026. I'll be much briefer here. Their niche rims, the records management system is a carryover from last year, and I only do this once a year, so it's on the record now, and won't be going to the goal again. The records management system is a carryover, as is the Reimagine School Resource Officer Program, so those are the 2 of the 5 goals this year. The third one is a chaplain program. So we were approached by Pastor Joseph Nieves from Transformation Reformed Church last year. He offered to provide pastoral services to members of the community who face significant trauma, or officers that face trauma. Because despite the efforts of our mobile response team and other practitioners in that area, they may feel more comfortable speaking to a person of faith, and this program is going to offer that. So we have volunteer pastors from our community, 3 of them, 3 were in, 2 more coming on. We're going to roll this out probably next month sometime. So in March, the supervisor will be holding a press conference on this. We've also are implementing continuation of planned services. So it's called co-op, right? So what happens is in the event we have to get up and go quickly, we can grab a couple things and take them with us, laptops, things like that, and set up services for police and somewhere else. This didn't happen in New York City when it was flooded during one of the hurricanes, 6 precinct and 5 feet underwater. This is going to happen here. So in the event we have to relocate our services, we'll be able to do so rather quickly. And lastly, we're going to participate in what's called the Safe Gun Storage Initiative. This is going to put us on a statewide map that anybody can come into our departments anytime and give us a legally owned firearm or firearms that will hold them, no questions asked. So if the person has a fear that the weapons may be a jeopardy while at home, which, for example, they have a person in their family who's suffering from a mental health crisis or substance abuse crisis, whatever it is. In the past, it would be rather complicated to take the weapons and bring them someplace safe. Whereas here under this program, we're going to be part of the statewide initiative that will accept those programs, no questions asked. They'll be able to come back and pick up those weapons anytime. Thank you. Sorry, I know I just said a lot.
No, that was good. Thank you. That was,
Really quick.
that was pretty good. That was a lot of information.
Read up for last month. Yeah, thank you.
There you go. Yes, that's true. It's true. All right, thank you very much. Let's go to the clerk now and go for clerk comments.
Well, I'm sure everyone's excited to know that our pavilion calendar opens on Monday. And
Gay spring.
People think it's, they say, oh, that's, no big deal, but it is a big deal. So if you're planning a graduation party this summer, you need to probably get to us by at least April. Because, I know there's nobody from Parks here, but that park fills up very, very quickly. It's beautiful. People love it. I know the board is working on baseball fees for the fields. And that's another calendar that will be opening in March. So you might want to, if that's what your interest is, you should take care of that. And then in reference to, Mrs. Freehill, I've known her better part of my adult life. And we worked together when she was, a clerk in the court. And if she were here, I think she would probably appreciate, I spoke to her this morning about this, she'd probably appreciate, my levity, regarding Mrs. Freehill. Because when she worked for us in the court, she was always just so. Her hair was just so, her clothes were just so, and everything was just perfect. And once she retired and the Humane Society became her passion, she'll come in and she'll have cat hair all over her. She has like now 5 dogs in her house. She's taken in, her and my sister are in a contest of who can take in more feral cats. She now has 5 ferals that she has turned into pets. Amazing lady. She works so hard over there, and you can go there at any time and she'll be sitting in a room and there'll be cats all over the floor, and some days it doesn't smell that pleasant in there. She worked very hard to get some grant money. They've built a new facility there on the side, which was supposed to be dedicated earlier this last year, I think the end of last year, and a couple things didn't work out. So I believe in the spring they're going to dedicate that new building. And another individual that some people like him and some people don't like him, but the former supervisor, Mr. Diana, he and his family made a $50,000 donation to the Humane Society to help with that new place. So I would think of no one better to honor at the Bart Park, and I can imagine that instead of going to the city of Middletown's park where she used to spend a lot of time, she'll start showing up in Circleville with her dogs, and I don't know, maybe someday we'll open a cat park. But that's all I have. Thank you.
I think the design's a little bit more complicated for a cat park, but yeah. We'll look into that. That's next. All right, exactly. Moving on, then let's go to councilman and committee reports. We'll start with Board One, Councilman Coyne and the Veterans Committee.
Yes, thank you. So March 14th from 1 to 4 p.m. Post 151 over on Way Beyond Avenue is having a corned beef dinner. Tickets are $15 for adults, $20 at the door, $10 for children under 12. If you want to purchase your ticket ahead of time so that you pay the $15, you can contact Roger Reed, Commander Roger Reed, at 845-649-6031. That is it for 151. There's not a lot going on because, you know, everyone's still in hibernation a little bit, but spring is coming and things will change. However, I did receive a very good email today from Congressman Pat Ryan's office. I met with them, I want to say 4 or 5 months ago, seeking grant money because post 1181 doesn't really have a home. And, you know, it's really difficult to, you know, you got to come up with property, you got to come up with the building, then, you know, commercial kitchen. I mean, it's expensive and it's not something that's easily purchased and developed. Discussing with the prior board and be talking to you guys about it, but the town does have property that hopefully my mindset, my thought is it's right near the community center, right behind it, about 5 acres. I'm kind of hoping of doing is in my effort to find a home for 1181 was that, you know, the town would allow this to be built there, of course, and grant money and such, but you know, I think that would be a fantastic spot for them. Maybe a little overflow for us as well as a town, seeing is it that if this were to come to fruition in the way that I'm thinking about it, it would be still town land, you know what I mean? Anyway, I got an email today. Finally, there's some grants available, community grants available. I started to fill out the application. I'm gonna reach out to the commander over at 1181 this weekend. I'll get together with him and finish filling out that form. It's a preliminary form. It's not, I mean, it would be a lot more to go to get this done, but just happy that grant money has become available out there because again, when I met with them, you know, 4 or 5 months ago, there was just nothing. So it was a good thing to hear from them. So stay tuned and hopefully we can make this happen. So thanks.
Thank you very much, Councilman Saleo.
Thank you. I had an excellent conversation with the Water Sewer Department head, Rob Bolabrowski, and look forward to having some time with him. He was sensitive enough to the immediate needs with the weather of choosing a better season, better time for us to actually take a tour of the area. And I look forward to that. Excellent meeting in New York City for the New York Association of Towns, at which time I saw so many of the folks that I met in the Albany meeting and attended several really meaningful conferences and look forward to following up with those different departments. Like to invite all of our residents to take a moment, look at your own property. If you have fire hydrants on the property, look at the neighborhood. If there are drains nearby that you can assist, if they haven't been addressed yet, give a hand if you feel up to it. And then lastly, thanks so much to our dear friend Shauna Bess for an excellent presentation. An acknowledgement of Black History Month. Appreciate also your family support. Glad that the town hall had the signage updated to reflect this important month and a celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilman Vanilla.
So, There's been some talk about, cross-country skiing, walking on paths. Interesting thing here is that our golf course, the town of Walpole Golf Course, is supposed to allow people to do that. No fee, no nothing, just have to stay on the path. So I look forward to all those cross-country skiers using the path with all that snow on the ground to go ahead and see the 18 holes in a different way. With that being said, obviously the golf course is pretty much closed. I'm gonna start talking about some other things. This March 12th is St. Patrick's Senior Lunch at the Community Center. It's something that, an event that the town does, and I've been able to do this now for the last 4 years, and it is an enjoyment. Seeing the people come out and enjoy corned beef, soda bread, and enjoy each other's company. But again, it's March 12th for that lunch at the community center. Pine Bush High School has a production of Disney's Frozen. That's on March 20th and 21st. The kids have been working really, really hard, and the sets are really cool. So please, if you have time, support Pine Bush High School with their drama club. About spring, every day we're getting closer. I cannot wait. And lastly, Shauna, thank you so much. It was quite educational. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Really quickly, I also have a couple announcements. AARP Fridays starting April 10th, 8 to 4. They are putting together a free tax return preparation by IRS certified tax preparers. It's free of charge. If you are an AARP member, I believe, although I don't know that that's absolute. Nope. There you go.
April 10th.
There you go. No membership necessary. Just come by, get your taxes done for free. All you have to do is call in advance, call 211 or 800-899-1479. And that you can call for appointments starting now, as a matter of fact. Again, just a quick plug on the St. Patrick's Day event that we have on March 12th. Please come out. It's been really successful event for many, many years. I was lucky enough to be involved in it the first time around. I'm excited to be involved in it this time around. If you like corned beef and cabbage and soda bread, although I believe that there's an ongoing debate about the soda bread, but I'm just going to leave that alone for right now. Some people got some big feelings about soda bread. So do join us on March 12th for that. Another quick thing that we're doing here for free, Town of Wallkill, we, the board, would like to invite anybody to get some free skin cancer screening. It's happening here at the community center on West Warren. Free to the public. Just show up on March 8th from 11 to 2 p.m. We're also doing that same kind of event with the same vendor here for town employees. We're extending that out to the town. So take advantage of that. You know, listen, it's difficult sometimes to get to the doctor. It's sometimes a little expensive to get to the doctor. This is an opportunity to cut that cost and have someone professional look at the spots that you've been looking at and having questions about. Not to forget, I had a very successful Spill the Tea event a couple weeks back. We're going to do that again March 7th, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Or whenever it wraps up. The idea is really quite simple. I sit down in a room full of folks and we just gab about what's happening in the town, what's on your mind, what's going on, what you haven't heard about here at the dais, but you're hearing about Scuttle. We'll talk about all of that and we'll share some ideas. So please, if you're not doing anything on that Saturday, join me 9 to 10 here at Town Hall. I think that's pretty much all the announcements that I have. I want to thank Shauna again, outstanding, last minute, batted right out of the park. Thank you so much. I'm not joking about being your agent. I see future there for you for that, for sure. Also, Mr. Soleo, if you want to do some voiceover stuff, you let me know. That's pretty much all I've got going on. I just want to talk a little bit about again, this idea of the deep dive that we're doing here at Town Hall. Things are actually starting to happen. They're starting to come together. We've got our forensic auditor in place. They're beginning to do a deep dive. We had I would say a very informative conversation with the New York State Comptroller's office today. So we're beginning to get our ducks in a row to really get the finances in order. In that respect, we are doing a deep dive this month into a couple of our vendor relations that we have. And then, of course, looking at the town budget in a more robust way. So stay tuned for more information on that. That is in full motion, and we'll be picking up speed exponentially, I hope, through the course of the next coming weeks. That's pretty much all I have right now. Then we go to the second and final public section of our meeting where,
I believe there's a question.
Oh, is there a question?
There is a question. Someone asked, once the STAR program is received and implemented, do folks have to resubmit yearly?
Stand by for the answer. I think the answer is yes.
Actually, I think it's not. But
Really?
You know
I
what?
think it's no.
I don't think so.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right, but if you please take down her number or his number, I will find out and I'll give him a call tomorrow, letting him know.
That's great news for somebody. Well, I'm not quite old enough yet, so that's a fault of my work.
The regular stuff already.
Once, yes, at that time.
Unless you're 65.
All set. All right, very
You
good.
have a request for someone to speak.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're about to open up the public section anyway, so they can kick it off.
Hi, everyone. This is Mary Andriozzi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Hi, I'm at 2126 Route 302 Circleville. I just wanted to say I thought this is a great idea with the Spill the Tea get together. And I wonder if we might be able to kind of move a little bit further in asking all the council people to commit more often to have a public forum for each ward to meet them and to meet as a group and share ideas, maybe quarterly, every 4 months, whatever, maybe twice a year.
I think that's a great idea. We just have to be careful not to all meet together. Otherwise, that becomes a meeting. But that said, I don't have to be the only guy who frees up Saturday. So the room is available to any of the councilmen or really anybody at town hall who's in leadership. If if any of the department heads are interested in doing some outreach, I don't know about the police commissioner, or maybe DPW, but I certainly would welcome that idea. I think that that's really great if we had more opportunities to interact on a personal level. So thank you, Mary, for that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just have one more
Sure.
thing I thought I would share. I remember that the We Care program was quite active and things have changed with that. In fact, we take over Baker Road and we're religious about cleaning it twice a year and was quite upset when we were all ready to clean and had a group of kids all set and find out that it had been cleaned up. And I understand that the town had hired 2 people to specifically go out and clean up these roads. I wish that I had known that ahead of time, or I would have maybe volunteered, or kind of I wouldn't have to disappoint the participants who are looking forward to it. But I think that it would be great to revisit and market it to the people when we are in our community type things, like when the night out and stuff, to see what the interest level is, because a lot of people in this community do want to feel like they own something and give back, and children need to have opportunities to see that good work being done. So maybe that's something that could be visited with the Department of Public Works, Miss Michelle Baker. But I wish that could have more of a exposure so that the public could decide whether they want to kind of just kind of go with it. And that's it.
So this program was brought on by the previous supervisor. And I will say it was done because there was a lot of trash around our town on our town roads. And by hiring these two gentlemen that don't work the entire year, they only work for, I think, 8 months of the 12 months. 6 months, thank you. It allows areas that are heavy traffic to go ahead and get cleaned up. And therefore, the town of Wallkill looks good. But I definitely see what you're saying about children's participation and doing something along with maybe more than an Earth Day. So yeah, that's something we can definitely enhance.
I just want to add to that, that I've had great experience on Earth Day cleanups. I've done, Basha Kill Area Association used to do a cleanup of the kill. I've been involved in that, cleanup of the Hudson River. I've been involved in that. I think that that kind of stewardship is really valuable. And I agree that there is something to be said. There's a lot to be said, actually, when the youth of our communities can actually see adults engaged in taking some care on where they live. So I'm all for looking into maybe doing something formally around Earth Day. Obviously, I know that we're talking about something a little bit broader, but I think that that's a great idea. I love that idea. Thank you, Ann Mayor.
Thank you.
All right, anybody in the auditorium or in the audience that would like to come up and speak, please? Just ask that you state your name and address, and 3 minutes is yours.
Teresa Lusher, 5 Tice Lane, Middletown. And I don't have like a big speech prepared. I've already done that about the cats, although this is mostly a new panel, so I don't know, but you do have my copy. My councilman over here from Ward 1. So I'm here on behalf of the many cats in my neighborhood that are just roaming free from a neighbor who started this whole colony. I've seen at least 40 different ones in my yard alone, let alone what's on her property. Okay, it's cold. They're not spayed, they're not neutered, they're not vaccinated. They're spreading disease. Okay, deadly rabies and deadly distemper among them. The last mom and 2 kittens that I rescued tested positive for FIV, which is a feline immunodeficiency virus, which has no cure and no vaccine and makes them very hard to place into homes because most people don't want to bring a cat like that into a home with their other cats. They're actually coming into my house through my cat door, which I now have to keep closed. They're spraying in my house, they're spraying on my property, they're spraying on my car. They're fighting with my cats. They're sitting under my bird feeders. The poor things are so hungry. They're killing the birds and squirrels and eating them. It's just not acceptable. Animal control, he was no help when I spoke to him. He said, if they're on your property, you can trap them and call someone. That was his answer. And I do believe that the town of Wallkill has a limit of 6 cats and dogs per household. And if anybody can tell me whether that's true or not and who's enforcing it. I mean, this is like my 4th time at one of these meetings in the last.
Yeah, and I thought we had sent the animal control over to your property, but I guess that.
No, he called me.
He called.
And he told me
Okay.
exactly what he said to me. If they're on your property, you can trap them and call someone.
All right, before you leave tonight, let me get your name and number and everything. I know Teresa, but your phone number, and we'll go a little bit further with this, but as far as how many cats and dogs, I'm not sure about the cats. I know the dog thing is real, 6 dogs. Would anybody else know about cats?
Dogs, I don't believe.
We address cats.
And it came up on.
It says cats?
Yeah, I mean, where,
Oh, it's right.
can anybody tell me where can you find this in the town? I mean, where do I look till I can print it out and show everybody? Or
I have my book in the car, but code book, but I don't recall seeing cats. I thought it was just dogs.
But even so, even if she wants to have 100 cats, isn't it a New York State law? They all have to be vaccinated for rabies? They're her pets?
I don't know offhand. I'm not gonna speak out of turn. I'm not gonna act like I know, but we can find out. We can, you know what I mean?
It's just taking
just
so
not
long.
gonna
I've been
answer.
working on, I've been coming for 3 years trying to get through to Serrano, and he was like, no help. As soon as I walked out here, I was just forgotten. These cats were forgotten. It's been 0 degrees below 0. They're looking for food, they're looking for shelter.
Mhm.
Now they're starting to reproduce. Kitten season is back. They were mating all over my yard last weekend.
Okay.
I've got 2 more spay appointments coming up, so I can, trap 2 more and get
So-
them spayed.
So our animal control officer got mauled, and I know he was on a line of duty injury. Chief, is he back?
No, he's not, unfortunately, injuries so serious require this one surgery at this point,
Right.
and maybe require others, I'm sorry about that. But I just don't have the information in front of me, we could talk offline, the meeting, I obviously, he's not here, I can't follow up on the date with him right
Yeah,
now.
he's not the only one that has access to what the town regulations are. Anybody can look that up.
Sure, I just don't have in front of me. We could
No,
talk
I
offline.
understand, but I mean, this has been going on for several years now that I've been trying to get help.
Well,
And
you
it's-
have a new administration here and.
And I'm
here-
really, really hopeful, and I'm
We're-
really, really hopeful because the quality of life for these cats there is no quality of life for these cats, 0. And mine is going way down because I can't take it anymore.
Sure,
And
sure.
I'm practically murderous, okay?
well,
I'm
maybe
just
maybe
getting-
don't go there,
I'm
but
getting emotional, but nobody is helping them except me. I'm alone in this.
well, you
It's
now,
cost me.
but now you're not. Now you're not alone, and I've heard now 3 people that are gonna speak to you offline to try to get this squared away for you. One of them, the police chief, so I'm pretty sure he's got some weight in this game. And what I can tell you is this, moving forward from this point on, we are going to be a little bit more responsive, okay? So,
Appreciate
yeah,
that for
I
the-
totally
for
understand
the-
that
for
we
the-
would,
for
yeah,
The cats, I mean, it's not like, "Oh, I just don't want them on my property. I just want help for them because they're suffering and I cannot take
sure.
the suffering. I'd rather see them dead than suffering, freezing, starving. It's just too hard.
Yeah,
It's
no,
just
it's-
too
it
hard
is.
and I can't.
It is, and I totally understand. This goes to, this goes to our conversation earlier. And I would imagine, you can truly appreciate the exercise that we're speaking about with Ms. Freehill and the cats. So,
And I want to
um,
see if she has any
you
ideas.
might
And
very,
I've called many, many, many agencies. I've even called, Albany.
yes,
And Albany tells me, well, it's really up to the town's job to handle
Sure.
stuff like that. Some towns are better at it than others, is what she told me.
Mr. Supervisor.
Yeah.
It is in our code, section 24910, and it does say, no more than 5 dogs or cats over 6 months.
yeah, it sounded familiar. Either way, I can tell you that moving forward, at least 3 individuals, and 4, if you count myself, are gonna be on this and paying attention and engaging in your neighbor's situation to make,
Appreciate it,
yeah,
because
to make at least, well, the reality is this, we all have to abide by the rules that we agree to. And the code is that, so, that's the,
I mean,
that's
she
really the
wanted
bottom
to
line.
Rescue 100 cats and take care of them. The
Sure.
problem is she doesn't take care of them.
No, I understand. I understand. And I think everybody here is sympathetic to that.
She wanted to build a huge barn on her property and fence it in and cover it and keep them there.
Sure.
They're just roaming free in the neighborhood. I just can't even stand it anymore.
Well, we'll do our best,
I really
moving forward.
appreciate it. And I'm hoping that this time around, we can get this stopped because the cat population is.
It's a challenge, pardon me, it's a challenge, and it's one that we're familiar with, obviously, with.
One unspayed cat, one unneutered cat can turn into, like 1 million cats in 10 years.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And
Well,
that's with 2 surviving kittens per litter. So they can have 5 and only 2 survive, but those 2 are gonna be,
right.
it's just never ends.
I totally understand your position, and again, I stress to you to have a couple conversations offline, but I thank you very much for your patience here, and just know that moving forward, it's gonna be, it'll be different. Yes,
So.
well, good, there you go.
I-
So at least that's a positive. So, yeah, so
I've been shot down before and I feel hopeful, not just here, but with like every agency that
I can understand that. So thank you very much for keeping hope in the game. I appreciate that, and I thank you very much for your contribution.
Cat at a time, 1 kitten at a
Yeah.
time. I've gotten probably I had a few friends that helped with, with trapping and a few friends that will foster. We've probably gotten 30 something cats and kittens off the street.
Sure.
In the last 2 or 3 years, but for those 30, there's 200 more.
Right.
So, okay.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, is there anybody else? Yeah, you're up.
Hi, Lillian O'Brien. Is this on?
It should be, is there a little green light?
Nope.
Press the button. There you go.
Lillian O'Brien, 633 Prospect Valley Road, Middletown, New York. I just want to say thank you so much for everything you guys do. I've been like not coming to any meetings for years. And seems like a lot of really wonderful things are happening in the town of Walk Hill. So I just wanted to thank you first and foremost on that. But then we also know that there is something that every time you see my face, I'm going to talk about. And initially, I'd like to find out if in fact we as a town have signed on to the resolution that the county had put together. It was unanimous
Yes.
resolution.
Yes,
You did.
yes.
Wonderful.
We're part of the
Thank you
letter.
so much. I know 50 towns and cities and villages did sign on. And that's in regard to the no detention center in Chester. And I know we hear back and forth, they're not doing it, they are doing it, and yeah, I'm really glad to see, I saw Congressman Ryan on MSNBC TV show the other day, and he said, even though they've said no, and it was wonderful that I think it's Mara, that he got confirmation that they're not doing it, that we're still as a community going to be vigilant.
Sure.
And part of that, from my perspective, one of the things he did say is I think there are some towns and villages, municipalities that are putting together their own laws to basically make sure that step by step, each town, village, or community started where they say that there's no warehousing of humans.
We've done that too.
You have done that.
Yep.
And that's a resolution, it's a law.
That's a resolution.
Yeah, but a resolution isn't as strong as a law. Am I
Okay.
right?
I would defer to the town council on that, but I
Okay.
understand that to go
Because
into
I know
the
that
code so that.
I know that you said that you had to rework your moratorium on warehouses. I am not against warehousing. I am not against progress. I mean, we're growing and you're gonna have to have warehouses. You're gonna have to have things that, are different. Okay, that's going to be just the way that the future will be in any town. But I think it's not a stretch to say that warehouses in general, are for things, inanimate objects. Like the lady was saying before with the cats and the dogs. We have something where you say, we're gonna have 5 cats or dogs in a house. And here they're talking about thousands of people in a warehouse. I mean, that just seems like it's something that a law, and I'm not saying say you don't want ice. It has to be something that's just generic. Because when we worked on stopping the landfill, we had to be generic that we would not even do landfilling for ourselves. And that was a law that we have in the town of Walk Hill that actually ended up stopping the 17 others that would have come into Orange County. So we as a town should be proud of that. But that was a law. So from my perspective, I would like to see if you could talk to legal. I know you said you're working on the warehouse moratorium, revamping that because it wasn't legal the way it was written. So as you revamp that, that may be something that you could also include in there. No warehousing of human beings. However you want to say it, I don't know. But other people have done it, so maybe we could piggyback off of what works for other people.
We'll definitely look into that.
Okay.
Because I'm unfamiliar with that language, but I understand your point. And yes, I see your point here. And we are indeed engaged in rethinking how we address the moratorium in itself and warehouses in general. We have some direction. Some of it is under scrutiny from the county. And we are in the process of trying to vet through what that language is in the immediate future as well as in the extended future. So certainly we'll take a look at all of that language, and if it's appropriate, we absolutely will fold that in.
Okay, sooner than later though. So that
We're working as quickly as we can. Yes, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Spill the tea was wonderful. Thank you. I look forward to that again.
Yeah, great. Thanks for coming. Anyone else? Going once, going twice, third time's a charm. All right, that brings us to the end of the meeting. I move to close the meeting, a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you.
Hour 10. Not quite as bad. Okay.